All right. Welcome back. Welcome back. So happy to be with you on this fine day. All right. Today we are going to be continuing our economic unit. We're going to be looking at specialization today. What does it mean when someone specializes in something? All right. So I have a great picture. All right. We have different people who specialize in different things at jobs, right? So when you're building a house or a garage or anything you might build around your house, you have people who specialize in different areas, right? So we have a carpenter who specializes in building the frame of the house, right? And then we have someone who specializes in coming in and doing inspections and looking at the house to make sure that the frame is, right and that the house won't fall down. Okay, then we have someone who specializes in siding, who specializes in, as an electrician who comes in and can do the electricity, or someone who specializes in plumbing. So that's what we're looking at today. Um, Come on. So objectives, we're going to contrast producers and consumers. Okay, we're going to be looking at the differences between them. Okay, how are they similar? How are they different? Okay, we're also going to be able to explain how specialization and division of labor, okay, benefit producers and consumers. Okay, so we have people who specialize in certain areas. We also have people who have certain jobs. So for making a car, they're the people who put the tires. There's people who put the tires on. There's people who put the steering wheels together, things like that. So that's the division of labor. You're also going to be able to describe how trade infrastructure contributes to interdependence. Okay, so how countries and people rely on one another. Okay, companies are going to rely on other companies to help them out. Countries are going to rely on other countries to help them out as well. Okay, and last one is describe how the availability and distribution of resources affects the economy. So we're going to be looking at all of these things. By the end of this mini lesson, you should be able to answer all these questions and be able to explain them. So, producers and consumers, all right? What is a producer, okay? A producer is someone who makes goods, okay, or provides some sort of service, okay, to fulfill others' wants and needs. So, a producer is the pizza guy who makes your pizza for Friday nights, okay? Or I just got a new cable box, new internet, okay, from Comcast. They provide a service, right? So Comcast provides a service to fulfill my wants, okay? I need to be able to go on the internet to teach you all. So that's a producer, okay? They're the people who produce things. So little, Jeff down here, right? Producer is someone who's producing the cakes or cupcakes, pizzas, whatever you want, and then someone else who provides services like Comcast, Verizon, AT&T. So those are producers. Okay. One question I have for you, right? If a product becomes popular, right? Sorry, this isn't really a question. If a product becomes popular, so this is the iPhone 8, I believe, maybe 8. When this came out last October, I think I got it. Yeah, last October, almost a year. Wow, I haven't cracked the screen yet. Amazing. If this iPhone comes out, right, it's pretty popular. And there's not a lot of the iPhones that come out, right? So this is going to positively affect the Apple who makes it, right? So this iPhone comes out, it's really popular, but there's not a lot of them. It's gonna help Apple, because Apple is going to make a lot of money, because I'm going to spend a good amount of money to get this phone, right? I really want this phone. It's very popular, but there's not a lot of them. So Apple can jack their prices up, right? It's popular and there's not a lot of them. Apple can jack the prices up because they know people want this iPhone, right? People want to buy this iPhone. So they can get away with it, all right? On the other hand, think about it. If a less popular product, are people going to spend more on it, right? So if with the iPhone, we'll say this is instead an iPhone 5, right? Less popular product. Is Apple going to make a lot of money off of it? Are people going to spend more for that? Probably not, right? So it really depends. A really popular, not a lot of products, right? Not a lot of them are made. People are going to spend more, okay? With a less popular product, people are going to spend less because it's not as popular, right? People don't want to buy it. On the other side, what is a consumer? Okay, consumers are people who buy products either directly from producers or from resellers, right? We're the consumers. Okay, I bought the iPhone. Okay, I bought my Dunkin' Donuts coffee this morning. Okay, I'm a consumer. All right, I went and purchased products. Okay, um, without consumers, okay, there's no point to providing goods or services, right? So if Dunkin' Donuts, if no one buys Dunkin' Donuts, right? If no one goes there, if there's no consumers of Dunkin' Donuts, which probably isn't going to happen because remember, America runs on Dunkin'. If no one's buying Dunkin' Donuts coffee, okay, and America isn't running on Dunkin' anymore, there's no point for Dunkin' Donuts to sell coffee anymore because there's no point to providing that good or service because no one's buying it, right? So if no one buys iPhones anymore, what's the point of Apple providing that good or service? Okay, so little gif down here from Matilda, kind of a funny scene, I think. So just remember, consumer, we're the people who, you know, take in, okay, either the cake, the coffee, the cell phones. We use cell phones, okay. We watch TV through Xfinity or Verizon or whatever. So division of labor, okay. Like I said at the beginning, specialization is when people focus on making just a few kinds of goods or services. Okay, so people really focus on one or two small things. One of the good examples I like to use is like a plumber, right? So a plumber is very good with piping. Okay, so they could do the pipes for your sinks in your bathrooms. Okay, they can fix your toilets, things like that. Okay, plumbers specialize in kind of the piping and fixing things like that. They're some maybe, but they're not going to come in and fix the lights in your house, okay? Plumbers specialize in what they do. On the other hand, electricians aren't going to be plumbers, okay? They don't do piping, okay? Not saying that they can't, but usually they specialize in just putting in electricity, okay? They do the wiring in your house, they do the lights, okay? With specialization, people are going to become really good at focusing on a small part of a project, okay, or process rather than having to do the entire thing by themselves. So if you're building a new house, you're going to have an electrician come in, okay? They're going to specialize, okay? Their specialization is going to be on electricity. They're going to run the wires through your house. They're going to set up the plugs, okay, so that you can have electricity all throughout your house, okay? And then they're going to leave. And then another person who specializes in something, a plumber, is going to come in. They're going to run all the piping. They're going to set up all the toilets, okay? They're going to have the water flow through your house. And then they're going to leave. And another person may come in, a painter, okay? Someone who specializes in painting will come in and paint your house, okay? So that's just, they all are a small part of an entire process, right? Yes, there are people who can paint, do plumbing, and do what an electrician can do. Yes, there are people, but for the most part, a lot of people specialize in one area. Okay, they're either a plumber, they're an electrician, they're a painter, they're a builder. Okay, they're an inspector. Okay, they specialize in one area. Okay. With this, we have the division of labor. Okay, it helps to make production more efficient. Okay, which means faster. Okay, so we're able to build things a lot quicker. Okay, and they're able to produce more. So it's also going to help the producer sell the product for less, right? It doesn't take as long. They're able to make more, so they can sell it for less. One of the great examples really was I'm sure all of you have heard of the Ford car, right? So we see like the Ford F-150s, the Ford whatever, Ford Focus, I think. So in the 1920s, okay, maybe a little bit earlier, the cars were not not everyone had a car. Okay, they were super expensive. They were hard for people to get. Okay, they're hard to make. And what happened was they created these factories with these cars, and they divided the labor up. So they had different sections. So they had 5 people who specialized in putting the body of the car together. So they would put the floor and then the roof, and they would put it together, right? So they had a group that specialized in that, and then they would pass it down to the next group, and then that group would specialize in putting the tires on. Okay, so they put the tires on, and then another group would specialize in painting the car. So what happened was they were able to produce a mass amount of cars. They were able to make them really quick because they divided the labor up. So they had different people working on different parts of the car. So they would start with the body, pass it on to the next group, putting the tires on, passing it on to painting, passing it on to making sure that the brakes and the pedal worked, and then the gas tank, and then they were able. Oh, the car's done. All right, next one. Move it along, kind of like the line, right? So they would just move it right along the line, okay? Assembly line, sorry, the assembly line. So they would start here, move it here, move it here. Each group specialized in one area, but they were able to make a ton of cars. So what happened was the cars that were super expensive, not a lot of them out there, they were able to produce a lot of cars. The price of the car went down. More people bought the car because the price went down. So more cars were out on the road, and this is what happened, right? So because of the division of labor, they were able to make a lot more cars and produce them a lot faster, and make more money. The cars were less expensive than they had been. All right. So, like I said, division of labor is going to help break down this big task into smaller little tasks for people to work on. Okay. Division of labor also affected the final product by making, like I said, the prices lower. So, like with the car example, right, in the 1920s, all of a sudden we have a ton of cars. Prices are going to go down because there's a large supply of them, and then the quality is going to go up, right? So we're going to have lower prices. Quality is going to be higher because people are specializing in certain areas. They're very good at what they do because that's what they focus on, right? So that's the division of labor. Okay, prices are going to go lower, because we have more product, and the quality is going to be better. Okay. Interdependence. What does interdependence mean? That's a great question. All right. Interdependence is the state of being dependent upon one another, right? So we depend on the the government to help provide different goods, different services for us, right? But they also depend on us to pay taxes so that they can have money, right? So we are interdependent, right? Interdependent can also work with countries, right? So we are interdependent on China for manufacturing, right? So we rely on China for different goods. China relies on us to provide them with, vegetables, fruit, things like that. So they're going to rely on each other. The United States and China rely on each other. They're interdependent. Okay. A disadvantage, though, of interdependence, right? If there are economic issues, okay, so if the United States in 2008 we went into recession, right? Our economy was not very good, right? People were losing jobs. Things weren't great in our economy, right? So what happens is if these countries are interdependent on one another, okay, so each country relies on one another. If the United States economy starts to struggle, the country who's dependent on us, okay, starts their economy is going to start to struggle as well. So, like I said, when the U.S. had an issue with their economy, such as the recession in 2008, it had a major, major impact on the economy of Canada and Mexico, okay? Because the United States could no longer purchase their goods as they had been, right? So if Canada is dependent on us buying, what do they sell? Hockey sticks? I don't know. So we're not buying as many anymore because our economy is not good. Well, their economy is going to start to go down as well. So disadvantage is interdependence. If one economy starts to kind of go down, like the recession in 2008, well, Canada and Mexico's economy is going to start to go down as well. Other countries like China, who we rely greatly on, right? We're interdependent on China. Their economy started to go down as well. All right. So I just have a question for you. If there's a country that is in tropical weather, okay, so if we have a country like, we'll say, let's go with Aruba, all right? So we have a country like Aruba, tropical weather, great weather, okay, but they don't have a lot of skilled workers, okay? They don't have people maybe they don't have a lot of electricians or plumbers, all right, skilled workers. What do you think that these countries might want to focus on? What are some of the areas that maybe they could focus on to help their economy? Well, one of the great things that they could focus on, these countries, and they do, is this is a great place for them to grow crops, right? So if they don't have a ton of skilled workers, these countries, like tropical countries, really their economies are dependent on growing vegetables and other crops, okay, that countries around the world may not be able to grow. So we'll say if Aruba has this great tropical climate, they don't have a ton of skilled workers, and the United States, wants bananas, okay, and we can't grow a lot of bananas around our country. This is a great way for Aruba to have their economy jumpstart, right, and make a lot of money because the United States will buy the bananas, right? So they'll make a lot of money off of the United States purchasing them. All right, and that is it for the mini lesson today. I hope that you all learned something. I'm sure you did. And I hope you enjoyed it. Here is the exit ticket for today. Remember, if you are unable to access it, I will put it on my message board along with the other exit tickets so that you can go and take the exit ticket. Remember, 5 exit tickets. If you do them, you will get a free 100 on a quiz grade. And I hope you are working like this cat on your schoolwork and everything is going fantastic. I will see you all tomorrow in mini lesson or live lesson. Mr. Doherty, out.